Okay, hello everyone, welcome to Hill Studios again, and it's our second lecture series. Is it lecture series? I don't know, just forget about it. So in the previous video I talked about which engine to use, Unreal Engine or Unity Engine, based on the stats of the game, like if a game is big or small, or compromises that you have to make when you're making your game, and number of people per room. Now I'm going to talk about programming. Let us simply try to understand where we use programming in game development, and I will also tell you where do you start learning game development. So initially, when you let's suppose take a computer, because most of your games run on some kind of computer, like whether it's mobile architecture or PC architecture, it doesn't understand us, right? It just understands 0 and 1s. So what you need to do is you just need to write a couple of code so that there will be an interpreter or compiler. There are two softwares which just converts the code that you write into some kind of assembly language, and then it again converts into the machine language, which is nothing but zeros and ones. If you say, suppose you write print hello, then print hello will never be fed as it is into the machine architecture or hardware. It just goes in the format of 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 in some order. So it's pretty hard to remember 0 1's combination, because it is our human brain is very good at observing patterns rather than observing some concrete structure, like some repeated structure. So our brain is good at finding similarities between two things and using them efficiently. So people discover, like, maybe using high level language helps us in making the computers work, right? So this is where we use programming is generally used to tell computer what to do. Now let's come to the point of where we use programming in game development. In olden days, people usually make games from scratch using C++. Like, they will write code for rendering triangles, they will write code for rendering rectangles, they will write code for rendering circles as well. But nowadays there are game engines which is like drag and drop. They are like a modular stuff, so there is a lot of code being happening in the background. But the main thing here is like where you use programming. Suppose if you want to develop some kind of functionality, let's assume take a PUBG Mobile. So whenever you press a fire button, you need to spawn a bullet, and you need to add some velocity to the bullet, and you also need to decrease the ammo counter as well. So all of these is done by programming language. By using programming, you are telling your game how to behave. So let us come to Unreal Engine. And Unity Engine uses C hash, and Unreal Engine uses two variants. First one is C++ and next one is Blueprints. Blueprints is similar to C++, but it is a visual scripting. Like, it's like a block of code which internally written in C++ only. So there is not much difference. You need to learn. For so many people are like, so if I use Blueprints, I don't need to learn programming language. But you are completely wrong. If you want to do blueprints at a good level, at an optimized level, you need to learn programming. Why? Because most of the structures that you use in the programming, like using a for loop or declaring variables, declaring classes, or writing functions, most of the stuff is also written in blueprints as well. So without having good programming language, I think you cannot use blueprints at all. So I think programming is pretty much essential. If you are a programmer, then you should. If you're a game developer, then you should know programming language. And one of the reasons why Unreal Engine uses blueprints is not to minimize programming, just to make sure that 3D artists can also use it. But you need to know some kind of programming language in order to use blueprints efficiently. So let us understand how to learn programming language, right? So my advice for you is learn Java. One of the reasons why I learn Java is like, nowadays every game uses object oriented paradigm. What is the meaning of that? Object-oriented paradigm generally means a collection of objects. Suppose if you say, like, let's say PUBG Mobile again, just assuming. So, or take my game Mercenaries Unleashed. So what I did in that, I created a base class which is known as a gun, and I created subclasses of it. Example, I created AKM, I created M416, I created shotgun, and I created a pistol using a single base class. Got it? So what is the advantage of that? So I don't need to define variables. Suppose if I have an ammo count, if I have it in the base class, it gets copied to all of the child classes as well. If I want to execute a function, if I write that function in the base class, then all of the child classes will also override that function, like will also include the definition of that function. So I don't need to define the same functionality at each and every child class. And also one of the biggest advantages is like if you feel like I wrote something wrong, I did something wrong in the method definition, let's say shooting. So you don't need to change the method definition at each and every child class. You just need to change the definition at the parent class. So object-oriented paradigm is a must and should for game development, because gaming right now, nobody satisfies with a Mario game. Everybody wants 10 guns. Everyone wants 10 to 20 different outfits. Everyone wants 10 to 20 grenades, types of grenades. So everything is a couple of objects with same properties but having different values. Rather than having same variables, they are having different values. So I think object-oriented programming is one of the must and should. So one of the quick ways to learn object-oriented programming is going with Java. Java is a programming language and it is completely pure object-oriented programming language. So if you are good in Java, then you will be also good in writing programming structures like how to write a for loop, while loop, declaring variables, declaring statements, and you will be also good in object-oriented programming as well. So you learn, like right now, like okay, Java is the way to go. How to learn Java? It's pretty simple. Just go to any programming resource in YouTube. Just figure it out. Just try to write some code in Java. And also after completing some basics like how to write some basic code in Java, go to lead code and try to solve as many problems as you can. I will suggest go to easy to medium problems. Don't go for hard problems, because hard problems are for competitive programming. But if you just want to learn Java, how it works. So before coming into game development, I've been writing code since between 2 years. So I cannot relate to this experience at all. But what I can tell you is like, yeah, first learn Java and then try to write as much code as you can, like solving addition of two numbers, multiplication of two numbers, and string manipulation, and try to learn algorithms, right, like string matching algorithms. They will try to give you a general sense of way to use programming language and how to use that. So if you learn all of this stuff, then it is pretty easy for you to get into blueprints and also get into C++ as well. C++ is quite, if you come into Unreal Engine, and if you look at the perspective of Unity, Java is quite similar to CS, so you don't need to worry about it at all. But if you consider Unreal Engine, then Unreal Engine, C++ in Unreal Engine is quite different than Java. But if you learn one programming language, you learn every programming language. So I think you don't get much time used to that. But if you're good in Java, in just in the general programming sense, you'll be good in blueprints as well. So I think this video helps you a lot. So what you guys need to do, programming is very important. Learn Java because it has object-oriented features in it, which you have to use in your game to make it optimized and saves you hours of time. And once you learn Java, go to data structures, go to algorithms, try to learn what is an array, hash set, hash map. Recently, for my inventory of my game, I used hash map to get O of one complexity of setting, something like that. So yeah, learning data structures and algorithms really helps you, and it also helps you in a lot of ways. So yeah, like go with data structures and algorithms and try to learn at the medium level. I'm not saying at the high level, try to get to the medium level so that you'll be getting good in programming in the general sense. And if you feel like you need some more experience in coding, just develop some kind of websites using Monstack, which I did. It will give you some exposure to different kinds of applications. You know how programming generally works. So that's it from my side, guys. So if you have any doubts, just post in the comment section, and I'll meet you next week. If hopefully some video from my game. I'm not getting enough time right now. I'm just doing in various tasks, so I'm just trying to complete everything. So thank you for sticking to my channel, and please make sure you like the video so that it gets to more and more people. Yeah, more people can watch this thing together. So yeah, whatnot, it's becoming creepy. Okay, thank you.